you when you saw this?
Beg your pardon?
How has all this changed you personally when you saw all this information?
Well, how it changed me, it did not only change me, sir, it changed my whole family. We have a hard time to go through it. It's been a long time. So it's a very serious and bad thing that happened. And I say that those criminals who did that, they should be arrested in the same manner they arrested my family in 1976. They arrested us in 1976 and put us in jail, and afterwards they put us in motel rooms.
Mr. Vautour, in 1987, Mr. Hatfield gave you a carved handshake and a financial amount.
Where are you speaking?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Mr. Hatfield, back in 1987, Mr. Hatfield gave you a financial settlement of some kind, and that nice carved two hands holding together. Does that not mean anything now, or was that just a token of something?
I think it meant a whole lot at that time, because I think Richard Hatfield was in a situation because of the federal government. And the federal government was so strong against the government of the province at the time that Hatfield felt that he should do something to me and my family, or to help us in some way. There's no doubt about it that the federal government at the time was very strongly against the province because of me living in land that was taken by the Liberal government, and they wanted me out of there.
But also, sir, you refused to leave the land after quite a few warnings, and at the time at the Habitant Motel, they asked you if you were going to leave as well, and you refused to leave there and were taken from there by force as well.
That is correct.
70, not too long after that.
That
They
is
came
right.
to the Habitant Motel and dragged you guys out of there.
That took us out of our home, and first of all, took me and the boys, and they put us in jail. And when they came in on that morning to take us from out of our home, we hadn't been advised of that at all. You have to remember, the judge, if he did sign the order, we don't know yet if the judge signed the order or someone else. But if the judge signed the order, he signed it on the 2nd of November, and on the 5th of November, my house was bulldozed to the ground, and we were put in jail, and my wife and daughter were put into motels.
So, Mr. Vautour, what happens now? Are you planning to go to court? You looking at legal action yourself?
I'll have to decide. We're speaking of a royal commission that should be, and I think there's importance there for a royal commission. And also, there's a question, of course, of law and a question of justice in there and what have you. But I know now that I received the information from the living person who was the key witness to a crime, and a crime against the family, and they did what they did. I knew all along that something was very wrong the way things were going. You have to remember that a family that could stand up against two governments, federal and provincial, and they would not take us out the second time. So why would they not take us out the second time? After we had returned to the lands, we were charged by Parks Canada of being on their land. And at that time, they did not even have the proclamation in order to have authority. So, what else can I tell you? When we went to court, they had delayed matters because we were charged in 1978, in July, I think, of 78, and we never were able to get to court before 1979. By 1979, they had what they called the proclamation for the park, given authority to Parks Canada. We went to court. Finally, the judge decided against us, and I'll tell you why. He went mostly on the decision on the matter of the proclamation. So in later months, we were able to go to the federal court. And when we went to the federal court about the proclamation, because we found that the proclamation was not legal, and the federal lawyers, they put before the federal court two motions. One motion was that I should not be heard at all, that I was in contempt of the courts here in the province of New Brunswick. The federal court threw that out. The other motion was they wanted the judge to go in a section of the law that did not permit the judge to do so. And in his decision, he explains that he's not prepared to be I must read that to you people. It says reasons and reasons for orders and orders. The defendant, and I must say, John Jackie Vautour, the plaintiff, and the Attorney General of Canada, the defendant. Reasons for orders and orders. The defendant, on September the 8th, 1980, launched two motions. One was pursuant to various paragraphs of Rule 419, including a plea of res judicata. And in case you people don't know what res judicata is, that means that you cannot put any documents or you cannot say anything anymore. So that's what it meant. So as a result of certain proceedings in other courts, the other motion requested that certain questions of law pursuant to Rule 474 be set down for determination by the court. After lengthy submissions on behalf of the parties, on October the 6th, 1980, I dismissed the first motion. I adjourned the second motion for further hearing, but I directed the motion would not come on for further hearing until the parties had endeavored to agree on a number of matters. The present motion for disposition under Rule 324 is by the defendant for further directions in respect of the Rule 474. It is painfully apparent the parties are unable to agree on all the questions of law which should be determined by the court. And as to the facts on which the question shall be argued, Rule 474, I see no change or compromise in the defendant's position since the hearing before me on October the 6th, 1980.